Good day, fellow educators. Allow me to share to you what method of learning were adapted by the College of Criminal Justice. This pandemic has really brought a huge transition to our educational system, switching from a traditional classroom environment to an online class. It gives us a new perspective where we educators are challenged to devise a pedagogy that will still abide to the objectives of the institution, and that is provide quality education. During the first semester, I have observed that establishing an environment where all students will be most likely to engage or participate during a synchronous class is quite a difficult. Some students were hesitant to talk or share their thoughts. Some would apologize that their connection is not good and have not followed your discussion. And worse, they would simply ignore you whenever you call for them, which made you think at your end that either you have a connection problem or your audio is not working. Communication skills and good reasoning must be developed among criminal justice students in preparation to their future profession. So this made me change my teaching pedagogy this second semester. With the advancement of our technology, where all information is just one click away, adapting the problem based learning could mean a difference in engaging our students to actively participate in a synchronous class. Problem based learning is a method that engages the student to conduct research and learn knowledge while solving problem in a real context. In my case, since I have a smaller class, what I did was to divide the students into six groups, and in each group they will be given a problem in the form of a case or a scenario. Then the group will now be guided with a this method. First, they must define the problem. They must explore the case or the scenario given to them. Second, identify the cause of the problem. Since they already have prior knowledge with regard to criminological theories, then they would somehow relate the theories of crime possession to the given problem. And the last would be they must develop solution to the problem, which will then be presented during a synchronous class. Applying this method to my criminal justice students receive a positive response. They said that this method promotes problem solving skills, wherein they noted that this method makes them think about the subject differently than just reading it through a textbook or a handouts. They actually analyze the problem, find out what is causing it, and prepare for a solution. Second, it also promotes discussion skills. One of the aspects that they like the most with this method was the fact that they have more confidence when getting involved and sharing their opinions and viewpoints. It really gave them some good practice in discussing problems and listening to others people's opinion, as opposed to just listening to a teacher talk for an hour. One of the advantages of this method is that it promotes the sense of camaraderie among student peers. They share their ideas, they share the result of their research, and then also it promotes learners' confidence. Thus, the responses given by my student showed that PBL promotes more motivating, engaging, and relevant education. When you implement the problem based learning, you need to expect that there are challenges that you might be encountering. One is creating a collaborative environment. According to Vygotsky, students learn best when they interact with their peers rather than they work alone. So, to promote a cooperative classroom culture, we must implement various forms of peer learning, such as classroom debates, which I usually applied in my class, especially since I'm handling criminal justice system. The second challenge is adjusting to changing rules. Successful problem based learning implementation will always depend on the capacity of the teachers to change the way they teach and manage the class. Take note that in PBL, teachers will always be considered as the facilitator, while the student will be the active learners. So, in this way, the student will enhance its skills for self directed and self regulated learning. The third challenge is identifying suited problem for the activity.
Then the fourth one is collecting resources. According to Earthmore and Simons, research problems should be feasible and thus must be developed with a consideration of both available resources and students' current abilities. If resources are limited or unavailable, no matter how authentic and relevant the problem is, students cannot successfully complete their project. Number five, developing assessment method. What I did that students watch other groups' presentation and evaluate also their performances. To facilitate these evaluation processes, it is important to provide a rubric for peer and self-evaluation. As an educator, adjustments were made to be able to comply with the learning objectives despite the challenges brought by the new mode of learning. Problem-based learning has brought positive effects on my students, especially on the content knowledge and the development of their skills. It increases their motivation and engagement during a synchronous class. However, it is still challenging for us teachers in implementing this method properly because it really requires long preparation and a proper implementation. Thank you very much for your time.